Young woman is Mr. Joshua Akamba ending Komo Ono and a national organizer of the NDC. Na yenji some information from him. Mr. Akamba, good morning and thanks so much for joining me.
Good morning and good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners.
Na and to say.
And Pomu I keep saying that when you have the President Nana Akufo-Addo still governing, and every day that you get that, you are either confronted with fuel hike, or you are confronted with the dollar increasing, your tin of milk going high, your drugs, those diabetes, those with hypertension cannot afford to buy drugs, and the number of people that die related to the race of Akufo-Addo, as a headache. So besides that, I can only say that and yet.
All right. Yo, na enkwana Ukrainians were.
Enkwan.
Yeah.
Na se me area, na se drone na mentimi anto asem.
But who enkwana pay?
Na say there are a number of people that and now many will say because they cannot afford to buy medicine. They cannot even afford to pay hospital bills. They cannot even afford to take trotro and go to the hospital. So what about those ones?
All right.
So if I talk about mine, wouldn't I think about those who are dying as a result of the mismanagement and the rule of Nana Akufo-Addo and his Alibaba and 40 Thieves?
Yo, yamba a substantive matter, so more raising issues about amendment EC at the Beko Parliament about CI 91 now. We've been trying, say Yebenya the soft copy, senior me every few viewers and listeners well. But what have your members been telling you, members of Parliament? What have they told you?
So, because of what have our members of Parliament been telling us, we have met with the Council of Elders of our party. We have told them the implications of what we think that CI that they seek to introduce in Parliament can affect the ordinary voter. So only maybe agree. I'm sure that you are aware that Ghana Card Club hasn't covered a lot of the areas. Maybe I'm free from BC. A lot of people have not been able to get their Ghana card because the system is not working properly in those areas. So if you come and introduce that kind of CI, then it means that they are trying to say that where the NDC has its majority votes, where we have our majority registrants, the rural communities, it's to try to get them not to be part of the processes in 2024. And that is why we think that it's a flop, and we will charge on our members of Parliament not to allow that law pass.
Openi, Mame, a bit of understanding and data as well. So, Ubenya breakdown, Mamia, because the assertion you make, this is skewed against more party, and more strongholds, And you be a more data and more strongholds, Mame information kakra registration, or data by a war.
No, you can't say that. I should give you a data per what I think it is. I'm talking about that the NDC as a political party sees major of its voters or majority of its voters coming from the rural communities. And you and I, it's not news. You should know that it's not a new thing at all. So I don't work with the statistics service to be able to say that this is what I've been able to get to say that X number. But I'm saying that I even cited an example that when you go to the community where I come from, the trouble of it is that many people of our areas there have difficulties in accessing the Ghana card. You understand? And even the last time, we have said over 400,000 have not been able to access the Ghana card. So how then do you go and say that we are going to use the Ghana card solely for only the new entrants and new registrants? We have known the EC. They have come. The previous registration, register was not good, and that they were going to build a robust system. We've told them what to do. That you can always renew it. You can always clean and make it new. You don't necessarily have to throw the register away. And they threw it away and said that they were building a robust system. Now you are going to throw the whole thing away again and say, we are going to now rely on Ghana card. And then we'll sit down and allow that to happen. Even if not for anything, I mean, look at the economic circumstances that we find ourselves in this country. Why do you keep spending unnecessary money and running this country down? So even not for that. So I think that we will not, as a party, allow them to let us see CI pass.
Obi Abaka said, the easiest way would have been for the NDC to have been present at the IPAC meetings where these deliberations would have happened before the conclusion was arrived at. Yenyusu Ghana card no as a sole document for a continuous registration exercise.
You see, I think the NDC had a point here, and we have explained time and time again that ever since Madame Jimesa became the EC, she said that she doesn't want to work with IPAC. And that for IPAC, you can come and make your decision and she will veto it. That's what she says. And then from that time, wow, the NDC, so at a point she would even call the MPP would be aware of meeting that the NDC didn't know about. It is sometimes in 24 hours, then we are now served with a letter to appear in IPAC. You know, and we have separately warned and said that we disagree with the way the woman was running it.
But Mr. Akamba, don't you think that seeing how essential this particular matter is, it would have been prudent, regardless of all the concerns you have raised, for you to have been present there?
I'm telling you that there was a roadmap within the Electoral Commission. Peace Council and the clergy have decided that they were going to organize a meeting for us to meet and resolve our issues. You can't go to a meeting where in that meeting you are not regarded. Then what is your use of being there? The NDC could be represented at IPAC, but the woman will still not work with any suggestion the NDC had made. Then where are we?
Some chronology. And Yebiano, Malcolm IPAC meetings before you decided to boycott IPAC meetings. Were there instances where you made suggestions at IPAC meetings where it was ever incorporated into the final decision of the Electoral Commission under Jim Mensah?
There was no any suggestion that we ever made that Madame Jim Mensah had accepted at all. And that is the difficulties that we had. That even in respect of the issue of the your friend is saying voter register, we had made several input in respect of that. You and I will agree and accept that the Jim Mensah-led administration actually disregarded most of the things we said, and we have to come and run to the court of public opinion by coming to do press conferences and putting up our frustrations out there. So it is something that she has decided she will not listen to us. So even if we were there and she had made up her point, that is exactly what she has done, and there won't be a turning back. And I think that members of parliament on our side who are listening, those ones who actually want people, you see, it is not only the NDC that has members of parliament coming from rural communities who are having all these difficulties in getting Ghana card for their people, you know? So those ones who also think that it is a way to go might all have to come together for us to resist this oppressor of a woman.
It's interesting that you are calling on others to join the bandwagon, but the others say they are in support of the new CII. I've spoken to Janet Nabla. Janet has made that position before. I've spoken to some. Janet is supposed to be the general secretary for the PNC. Who else did I speak to? At least I've spoken to 2 or 3 individuals. One more representation at IPAC meetings. They are all for the new CI.
I see. Anyway, that's her opinion, and this is my opinion. I'm speaking to members of parliament on our side and speaking to the members of parliament who come from MPP, who are also coming from the rural areas, who also have same difficulty. That's exactly what I mean. I'm talking about our members of parliament. I'm not talking about PNC or PNC members of parliament. I'm talking about NDC and MPP who represent parliament and those who also would have their frustrations.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I know, sir, as parties, more register, and you have statistics at Chemo. on the cycle, no, election cycle, no, the number of new registrants are onto yen register, no. And so with this continuous registration exercise, per more data more, no, do you have any idea how many people you hope say we should register at the end of the day?
Listen, of course, you and I know that currently, as me and you are here, we have people who are turning 18. Is that right?
Yeah.
We have people who are turning 18 today. We have people who are turning 18 tomorrow. So you can never have an accurate statistics as we sit here until we get to a certain point where the statistical service can decide to give us what we have as to how many women we have gotten or young women have turned to 18 and how many men have turned to. But as I sit here, I cannot be a computer to be able to determine that this is what statistically should have happened. But obviously, as time goes on, we will get the register from the EC. What they are supposed to notify us whether daily they are doing the registration. If they are doing it, we'll put our agents there to see. But nothing of that sort is happening. So you are unable to say that this is exactly what it is.
Well, I remember I spoke to the deputy EC chair. I raised some of these concerns I was raising about the card and the inability of the people to access the cards and all of that. Then he made the point that, look, we have up until, let's say, 2023, even into 2024, for people to register. The NIA says that it is doing as much as possible to ensure it gives a lot more of these cards to people. And so they are going to roll out new programs. Is that
Chief,
not
Chief,
good reason enough for you?
Chief, I beg you, from now to 2023, how many years?
That's a year plus.
Okay. From when the NIA started to today, how many years now?
Oh, that's let's say like 3-4 years. 3-4 years.
So how possible are they thinking that something that they could not use 3-4 years to complete would have used a year to finish the remaining one?
You know the NIA registration exercise that's not complete.
Please. The NIA, even at the point when they said they were starting, they failed. The NIA, when they told us that by the year 2020 they would have finished, they failed. So there's no way you use their assessment to judge that that's exactly where they'll be and that's what they'll be able to do.
All right. Well, maybe some final question. All right. Maybe some final question. So you're not at IPAC. The EC has taken its decision. Supposedly, it has the backing of the other members of IPAC or MUCO meetings. You know, what are your next steps you are going to take apart from coming to the court of public opinion?
In any case, I'm sure that you know that we also have members in Parliament, right?
Yeah, indeed. And
then the CI go through them and the committee through that, right? You will hear of the result when we get there.
I'm grateful, Mr. Akamba. Say, Anapai Ojimbe na onimi edi nkomo ewo jumedi